We're in the beautiful seaside French village of Akaroa for race 4 of the State New Zealand Ocean Swim Series, Le Grande Swim. Akaroa, one of the most beautiful settlements in New Zealand, and just under 600 competitors have turned out to swim the 2.8k race. And I tell you what, it's an eclectic mix of athletes from all around the New Zealand, from the elite to the first-timers. Let's check out today's conditions with the forward forecast. 16 to 17 degree water temperature, fair to say, a moderate southerly wind making conditions slightly cool. But not enough of a wind to create much of a chop, making for a pleasant swim. And that will ease the nerves of a lot of our competitors today, particularly amongst family and friends. Those competitors on the start line for the first time. Great to see the families getting involved. Gary Denver caught up with a number of the competitors.
What's the expectations? You set yourself a goal. Is it just to finish, or you got a time?
Yes, we all want to win our age groups.
We all want to win our age groups. I just enjoy it. I enjoy competing. I love swimming, love training, love racing. Can't get enough of it.
You set yourself a goal?
Not really. I just got here to New Zealand a couple of weeks ago. No, I'm sorry, a couple of days ago. And I saw it online. I said, might just go for a swim.
So, first time, done it before?
No, first time.
First time for me too. Yeah.
Why?
Somebody challenged me to it.
Yeah.
Said if they can do it, I can do it.
Same thing. Probably midlife crisis. Probably. Yeah.
I love it. I love the different reasons, the motivations for getting on the start line. And here are the elite athletes. They're racing for the big prize money. But before we catch up with them, let's recap race 3 of the State New Zealand Ocean Swim Series, the Capital Classic. And it started in absolutely idyllic conditions. It really is just a stunning swim, taking in some of Wellington's most famous landmarks. Early on in the men's race, it was Nathan Cap. And Cap would look to try and clean this field out early. Looking comfortable halfway through this race, he would go on and win in style. Emma Robinson would be too good in the women's field. Her long, loping stroke just showing how good she is technically, both above and under the water. She would take out the women's crown.
Okay, Kane, feeling good? How are you feeling after the flight from Perth?
Yeah, not too bad. You know, it's just one of those things you got to put up with living so far away. It's not the nicest flight, but hey, there's no excuses. You just got to go out there and give it all.
Bit of familiarity with your rivals today. You've obviously been swimming against them pretty recently as well.
Yeah, definitely. We've had this is always a busy couple of months for us over Christmas and New Year. It's really good. We get a lot of good quality races in against each other.
So what's your expectations today? You're feeling good, like you got it in the bag today?
You know, I definitely don't come out here not to win. You know, I come out here to swim and make sure I come out with the win. I'm not here to muck around and come second.
Bit cold today, but feeling confident heading into this big, obviously, showdown with Kane?
Yeah, it's going to be a good race with Kane. We've both come from Perth, so it's going to be a good race going backing up from that 2 weeks ago. So we'll see how it is. It's going to be flat out there, so it's going to be like a pool, so anyone's race.
All right, Troy, confident today, mate?
Yeah, it should be a good race. I was hoping for a bit more sun, but, you know, weather's weather. We'll just go and have some fun.
So you're going to go out hard? You're well known for a fast start?
Nah, not this time. I think I might try and pace myself, go with Philip and Kane and see who's got the fastest sprint at the end.
All right, Amy, series leader, you feeling confident today?
I'm hoping I can get a medal ranking today. So far I've come 4th twice, so hopefully, if it goes well, I'll be able to come in the medal podium. Yeah.
So who's your biggest rival today, do you think?
I'm thinking Abby or Steph. I know Jendi, hopefully, she's been a bit sick recently, but hopefully she'll be okay today, and then she'll also be quite a rival. I think there's only 5 of us, so it'll be quite close.
All right, Abby, second on the table at the moment. You've got Amy in your sights, I presume, for today?
Yeah, it'll be good. Good race as usual, hopefully.
What's the tactics?
Oh, you know, just go hard as possible, I guess. Try not to get taken out at the start. Yeah, but other than that, just go for a good swim.
So what's your expectation today?
Finish again. Honestly, just getting to the end's the best part. Just finishing with the girls up there, hopefully. But getting to the finish is all good with me. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be quite competitive. No Charlotte Webby, no Emma, no Laura. So you've got your eye on maybe a podium today?
I don't think that is like a big hope for me. I think just stick. I think it'll be quite a tight race though. Like all of us are quite similar, so I think it'll be a really tough one, really good one. So we'll see how it turns out.
Oh, wonderful level of modesty there from a number of our elite competitors. Let's have a look at the course map for today's round 4 of the State New Zealand Ocean Swim Series. The competitors, well, they start in French Bay. It's a 2.8 kilometre swim in distance, a triangular course. Navigation, not really too much of an issue. They finished in Children's Bay. Well, the talking is over. We are set for a start in race 4 of the State New Zealand Ocean Swim Series. Le Grande Swim in the green cap, our elite competitor Stephanie Gillespie. Liam Thompson out of Australia in the orange cap, Amy Moss in the silver cap, and next to her, Jendi Roberts from North Canterbury in the red cap, Abby Chapman in the pink cap, Sam Woodward in the orange, and then our 3 men's favourites. There he is in the green cap, Kane Radford, Philip Ryan in the pink cap and the sleeveless wetsuit, and then Troy Belvitt. So a beach start today. This is where we'll see the surf skills come into play, the wading, a couple of dolphin dives, and they're into their work. It's always one of the great scenes of any sport, the start of an ocean swim. Washing machine effect, the white water coming off the back of the all-powerful kick, such an important part of any swim stroke. And early on, it's about trying to get clear water, using that speed that you learn in the pool over 200 and 400 metres. Heart rate is through the roof at this point. They will need to try and bring that heart rate down shortly and get into more of a rhythm. Great scenes in the background. Just a magnificent sporting amphitheatre here in Akaroa. And immediately we see Kane Radford in the green cap going to the front. Just out to his left in the silver it is Troy Belvitt, sitting nicely in 3rd place in the pink cap, Philip Ryan with the sleeveless wetsuit. Belvitt and Ryan doing a good job here, letting Kane Radford set the pace, ultimately lead them around this course. Navigation such a key part of any open water swim. Also tucked in that group, Liam Thompson in the orange cap, Aidan Thornhill, a 23-year-old, former New Zealand water polo representative. Triangular course for our competitors, Radford and Belvitt, and you can just see now the stroke has just settled down somewhat, just looking to lengthen it out a little bit. Making sure they just keep those hips nice and high in the water, bringing the kick into play. Liam Thompson, Philip Ryan just sitting back, trying to conserve energy. Philip Ryan just showing slightly different tactics here today. Historically, in the last few races of the State New Zealand Ocean Swim Series, he's looked to take it out quite hard and looked to set the pace up front. And I just wonder whether this is a more beneficial strategy for him in the pink cap. Very different stroke required in open water, much higher arm turnover, a slightly shorter stroke. Of course, the wetsuits allow the athletes a little bit more buoyancy, so they naturally tend to sit a little higher on the water. The irony in all of it is non-swimmers love the wetsuits. The elite swimmers, well, in a perfect world, they'd prefer not to have them on. But with conditions around 16 or 17 degrees today, I'd imagine that they're more than happy having the luxury of a blue 70 wetsuit. First look at our leading female competitor amongst the elites. It is Stephanie Gillespie, a 19-year-old Kiwi from Dunedin. 3rd in this event last year. She's represented New Zealand on 3 different New Zealand swim teams. Just having a wee look around, seeing where the challenges are coming from. And it's young Penelope Hayes out of Cambridge in the baby blue cap, who's looking to try and just see if she can close up that gap. She can get right on the feet there. She'll just get the drag coefficient, save about 10 to 15% energy. And that is energy that she can ultimately utilise in the last 100 to 200 metres if it does come down to a sprint finish. Back to the front of the men's race, 4 competitors, Kane Radford in the green cap, Philip Ryan in the pink, Troy Belvitt in the silver, Liam Thompson in the orange, about to approach the halfway mark. Our 4 leading men eyeballing each other. This is not the case for Stephanie Gillespie. She might not be aware that the challenge is coming from Penelope Hayes, who looks to just try and close the gap. Out to their right it is Abby Chapman, 18 years of age, out of Pukekohe. She looks to maybe have taken the wrong line initially, now trying to correct that, trying to zigzag across, look to try and jump on the feet of either Hayes or Gillespie. Great battle though amongst our men beginning to unfold. Belvit in the silver cap, really starting to put a bit of pressure here on Kane Radford. Radford, so much experience though. Now got just half a body length. Doesn't mean too much in open water swimming. What it ultimately means though is that Liam Thompson in the orange cap just looks like he's in a little bit of difficulty. He's going to need to fight here. He's going to need to try and get across and jump onto the feet of Philip Ryan. He does not want to let that gap open up. So a great race developing amongst our men. A very good race developing amongst our two leading female competitors. Stroke rates slowing down, increasing. Our competitors continue to surge. Is this the first decisive break as they approach the halfway mark though? Coming from Kane Radford. Oh, sneaky, good stuff. Diving underneath. Trying to gain as much distance as he can. And the first of the competitors to respond is very much Philip Ryan in the sleeveless wetsuit. He's been runner-up in so many events in the past. Can he go one better today? We are in Akaroa for race 4 of the State New Zealand Ocean Swim Series, Grande Swim. Earlier in the day, competitors took part in the Give It A Go 300-metre race. An opportunity for the youngsters to test themselves in open water conditions. Like the elite men's and women's competitors, they were very competitive. It was the boys versus the girls and the girls versus the boys. Following that event was the State Ocean Kids, an opportunity for the youngsters to get some open water instruction from one of New Zealand's leading open water swimmers, Philip Ryan. They were then given the opportunity to put what they'd learnt into practice before getting on the start line and having a crack themselves in a race environment over 200 metres. Like a lot of the competitors on the start line today, there was a competitive element in this, even though it was ultimately only a fun event. Siblings stood by and clapped their brothers and sisters across the finish line. The common denominator was one of relief and happiness once they crossed the finish line. Back to the elite race, just having a look at the course map. Earlier we saw Kane Radford lead the elite men around the turnaround marker. Now we see our elite women in the green cap, still doing it comfortably at the moment. It is Stephanie Gillespie out of Cambridge in the light blue cap. Approaching the can now in second place. This is Penelope Hayes. Penelope's just going to want to really get the arms over here very quickly and just see if she can just try and bridge that gap. Now approaching the can in third place, it is Abby Chapman, just 18 years of age. She's wearing the pink cap, she's out of Pukekohe, she's ranked 6th in New Zealand over 800 metres, and she was 3rd in the State Capital Classic last month, so she's starting to build some experience. She's certainly got some pedigree. Penelope Hayes, she's doing it tough because the worst place you want to be in an open water swim is by yourself. You want to try and have a number of elite competitors around you, or competitors that are slightly quicker than you, so you can get alongside of them, sit on their hip. Looking at the facts here on Stephanie Gillespie, just 19 years of age, a big future ahead of her. 3rd last year, she'll be better off for that experience. I wonder what is going through her head. A national representative. Does she know where she is? Again, just lifting that head every 3 to 4 strokes. In a swimming pool, of course, you've got the black line to follow. In the open water, you've got to be sighting above the markers. You're in control. So just looking at that elite men's race, it looks like the Australian athlete Liam Thompson in a bit of difficulty. Kane Radford leading. What a class act he is, 24 years of age. He's moved to Perth, originally out of Rotorua. He's the current New Zealand open water champion. He's won this series previously in the past. Just looks so comfortable, Kane Radford. It's not so much about how your stroke looks on top of the water, it's more about what happens underneath the water. Philip Ryan, though, still not prepared to give up. In the sleeveless wetsuit and the pink cap, just beginning to increase the stroke rate, really trying to bring the kick into play now. He'll be suffering. The lactic acid will be running through his entire body here. Kane Radford, again, no rear vision mirror. We say that every week in this series. But you just sense that gap is closing up. This is a fascinating battle between New Zealand's number 1 and 2 open water swimmers. So Philip Ryan fighting for his life here, trying to get onto the feet. Just trying to look to get a little bit of recovery before looking to surge and possibly attack Radford again. So important that even under duress, they're breathing to both sides, just having a look at what is happening either side of them. Kane Radford, what will he be thinking at the moment? How will he handle the pressure? So many of the races that he has won, he's had off the back of a comfortable lead. Philip Ryan just beginning to put just maybe a little bit of doubt in his head at this point. At what point will we see Philip Ryan really look to launch himself over that last 200 to 300 metres? It is a distance back now to Troy Belvett in third place in the silver cap, and then the Australian Liam Thompson a distant fourth. So round 4 of the State New Zealand Ocean Swim Series, Le Grande Swim, is going to come down to 2 competitors, 2 Kiwis in Radford and Ryan. Large crowd beginning to build at the finish line to watch these 2 great warriors go toe-to-toe. And here we go, Radford now leaving nothing in the tank. Kick comes into play here. Look at the arm turnover. But Philip Ryan says, anything you can do, I can do. Lifting himself out of the water. You feel he's got that big adrenaline rush. Previous swims, as we mentioned, he's taken the lead. Today he's sat back. He's looked to try and just conserve a bit more energy. Will it pay off for him? Can he get to his feet? It's going to come down to a sprint up the beach. Kane Radford first to his feet. 1, 2, 3, dolphin dives. And Radford, though, will have the legs. Kane Radford will take out round 4 in Akaroa. Philip Ryan, what a wonderful swim. Second place for him. And Troy Belvett, the 22-year-old, will finish in third place and get himself on the podium. That is tough. Great men's race. Second separating them. And now coming home in 4th place out of Sydney, Australia, the 19-year-old Liam Thompson. And our Queen of Akaroa today, she was 3rd last year. She's made 3 New Zealand teams. She's just 19 years age, out of Dunedin, Stephanie Gillespie. And in 2nd place in the pink cap, 18 years of age, just youngsters from Pukekohe. This is Abby Chapman. And a great swim from Penelope Hayes out of Cambridge to round out our top 3.
Kane, heck of a finish. When did you realise you had it in the bag? Did you actually have any confidence with the last 200-300 metres to go?
Yeah, I kind of did. You know, it's always hard if you're on someone else's feet, especially when it's a run up the beach. You know, because they got to get into the shallow water first, get the wading going first. So, you know, but you never know. Philip had me on my toes the whole way. He was pushing me the entire way. I definitely couldn't let up, or else he would have flown past me. Yeah,
it was tight. Well, the whole race, there was basically nothing between you. Is that one of the closer races you've had with him?
Yeah, we've definitely been having a lot of close races lately. You know, we're really tight. We have a lot of close races, and it's good. He keeps me on my toes all the time.
Philip, heck of a race and close all the way, but just pipped at the post.
Yeah, Kane got me at the end. I tried getting him round him, but he just sort of slipped in front and then got me on the dolphin dice. But I still tried to sprint up the beach, but I lost my legs. So credit to him for finishing off better than me.
You were pretty much neck and neck for the whole race. Did you have a thought that maybe you might try to push past him and get a lead somewhere during the race?
I tried going a little bit out from him, but then I just realised, no, I'll just sit on his feet, wait for him to go, because I knew he'd go at a stage. And then I just want to get on his feet and just sit there and try and roll them at the end. But today I just didn't have it there at the end.
Stephanie, good race today, quite a long way in front.
Not too far in front. I passed Penny, open water champion, at about maybe 500 metres, and I just knew that she had a really strong back end and she could definitely go the distance. So I just tried to hold on, not look back too much, and yeah, came out first, so I'm quite happy.
So did it pan out how you planned? Did you have a strategy and that was the way it was going to work?
I didn't have a strategy today. That was the first one that I've done out of the series, so I just hoped for the best and just stuck to my normal race plan, which is, yeah, sort of hold on at the start but save it to the end, and it seemed to work for me.
Great strategy too, as we do confirm those women's results for you. Stephanie Gillespie winning in a time of 35 minutes and 5 seconds, 22 seconds clear of Abby Chapman. Penelope Hayes in third place. To the men's, it was Kane Radford, just 3 seconds over Philip Ryan. Troy Belvett making it an all-3 New Zealand finish, edging out Liam Thompson from Australia, who finished in 4th. And confirming the overall series leaderboard, remembering it is your best 3 races out of 6. 2 races still remain. It is Abby Chapman currently leading the women's standings. On the men's side, it is the very consistent Philip Bryan who leads the overall men's standings. Troy Belvert in second, but Yasunari Hirai of Japan is unbeaten so far. He will be back for one of the last 2 races in the series. And while we see many competitors finishing today's 2.8k race, one swimmer, Bridget Lafontaine, has overcome the odds to compete in today's race.
Well, I had a big hang gliding accident landing about a year ago. Ended up on the Gold Coast Hospital for 3 weeks with a broken neck, C1 and C2 broken, and then after that they bolted this big halo frame onto my neck, and I still have the scars. It was bolted 4 bolts into my head for 3 months, and then a neck brace for 5-6 weeks. So swimming has been really good to sort of strengthen everything, and I can't do any impact exercise like running, jumping, mountain biking, so swimming is just the perfect sport to get the mobility back and to use the whole body as well. So I'm nervous about getting cramps and things like that, but mostly about the people because I've been swimming by myself mostly. So, but yeah, I've done the training, so fingers crossed it's going to go well.
I've got cramps.
So, Bridget, was that everything you expected?
It was actually harder than I thought. Yeah, but I've managed to get my beat because I've stayed out of the way of people. But I got cramps in the second half. But I did it under an hour, so I'm really happy with that. So the training must have paid off. Yeah, but I'm tired.
Well, if you're inspired by Bridget's story, you've been inspired by what you've seen today, we'd love to see you taking part in the Sand to Surf Saturday the 21st of March, and then the final race in the series, the King of the Bays, Saturday the 18th of April.